All right. Do we have any other questions before I get started or comments before we get rolling along here from anyone? Come on, you guys. Just say hi.
Okay, I have a question for you. When I attended the meeting with the Echo360, the webinar, they said that Zoom and Teams can be incorporated into Echo360. Are you going to go over Teams as well as Zoom?
So we will go over the way Teams works and how you can actually use the recordings from Teams to be integrated into Echo360. Yes, it is not a large portion of it because of the limited integration that they offer. And so really, as you'll see, one of the first things I want to do when we get started here is explain each of our platforms, each of the platforms that we'll be dealing with during this presentation and the ones that you will be using during the semester and how they relate to each other, because I think there's sometimes some confusion about how Echo360 relates to Canvas. I think sometimes they become synonymous and people assume that, well, I have this course section in Canvas and my Echo should be there. And so we'll hopefully dispel some of the myths and maybe clarify how all of those platforms relate together. Okay.
Thank you.
Okay. So just to confirm, everyone can see my screen that says Zoom to Echo360. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, I don't want to leave anybody behind, so it's fine if you don't see it. We'll give you a chance to get there. And then again, don't mind if you, as we get started here, mute your mic unless you have a question. That way, we won't have a lot of extraneous noise. All right, so this is the agenda for today. It's not comprehensive and complete. We will probably go off on some tangents at some point, and certainly welcome to answer any of your questions related to Echo 360. But certainly we'll try to stick close to this basic agenda. So we'll be talking about the platforms, as I just mentioned. We'll be talking about the platforms, both Zoom, Teams, Echo360 and Canvas, and how they relate to each other, how they interact with each other. We'll talk specifically about the Zoom integration with Echo360. We'll talk about uploading videos, videos that you have saved on your PC or Mac or whatever device you prefer to use. And those videos could be from Teams, they could be from Zoom, they could be from some other recording application that you have, they could be from Echo360 Universal Capture that you may have edited in some way and need to upload again. And then we'll finally talk about how to deliver your content via Canvas. Now, it should be said that there are many, many different ways to deliver content via Canvas when we start talking about Echo360. So the basics of the platforms, and forgive me if this may seem too fundamental for many people, but I just really want everybody to be on the same page about understanding, what these platforms are and how we use them. So Zoom and Teams are synchronous meeting platforms, allowing the two-way communication, audio, camera, video, screen share. And they have recording capabilities. Now, what you're going to notice about a lot of these platforms is they have a lot of crossover features, and it starts to get confusing on how to get each of those features and how to use those effectively. Echo360 is a live stream and recording platform, so it's really a one-way. If you choose to do the live streaming, and there is some recording capability. The live stream essentially could be implemented via the Universal Capture program, or if you were actually teaching in a classroom and had a scheduled recording scheduled into that room. And in essence, it becomes a storage platform and management platform for your recordings. And we can also deliver. So as we go along here, Echo360 is our video storage management and delivery system. And I'm going to recommend that when you want to manipulate any content in Echo360, that you do it at echo360.org and not through the portal that's in Canvas. And I'll explain to you a little bit more about what I mean by that portal that's in Canvas, because I think that's another point where people get a little bit confused. Echo360 offers some interactive features, but by and large, the way it is used on campus most is really as a one-way platform. There are some great features that are available to it, but the majority of the people have not taken advantage of that yet. And I'm sure if you attended Marianne's course on all things Echo360, you probably have a much better insight now about what those features are in Echo360 and how you might be able to use those. One of the most powerful features of Echo360 is that it'll compile viewing analytics for those videos that you post, with the caveat that you use the best practices that we'll talk about. And that I'm not sure whether she mentioned it in her presentation, but really the way we expect the best practice to be used in managing the content. That'll give you the most accurate analytics. Echo360 also offers recording hardware and software. The recording hardware is installed into the classrooms and is available for your use if you're scheduled into that classroom, or if you want to schedule a classroom outside of normal hours, you can schedule and do recordings within those rooms. And of course, the software, the universal capture software, is available free to anyone on the Echo360 platform. And it allows you to both record and live stream if you want to. And finally, the third platform that we're going to talk about is the Canvas Learning Management System, the LMS. And this is really where you're going to take all of that content and put it to good use in the learning management system in the context of your course shell in different ways in presenting it in the learning management system. So as I alluded to before, I mentioned that Canvas can be a portal to your Echo360 library. And when I'll go into the interface in just a few minutes here, and you're going to see that portal, and I want you to understand that relationship a little bit better. It may make it a little clearer on why there are best practices, and we ask that things are done a certain way, because it ultimately makes it easier for you. We can utilize these Echo360 features by embedded videos, or a class list button on the navigation menu of LMS of Canvas. And we'll dig into mostly the class list button because that is where you're going to get the most integration between Zoom and Echo360. So basically, in a nutshell, all of those platforms, the way they relate is that Zoom becomes the platform that you host from in most cases. Zoom, Teams, or Echo360, you're going to host, live stream, and record those meetings. If they're two-way interactive platforms, then you'll have the benefit of those. Students are going to use Canvas in most cases to access the content. And actually, you'll see that as we get into this Echo360 Zoom integration, that they have the ability to actually join a Zoom meeting via the Echo360 platform, which would be embedded or use the portal in Canvas. Students and instructors will also use Zoom to access recurring meetings if they want to use the interactive features of Zoom itself. And at this point, the integration then with Zoom becomes more of an archiving system, or a publishing system where the recording that is recorded in Zoom will automatically be uploaded to your course section. Okay, so in essence, you're going to host and record through Echo360, Zoom, or Teams. You're going to store the content in Echo360 and manage it. And then you're going to share it via Canvas through an Echo360 portal or embedded videos or links. Now, as I said before, all three of those platforms have a variety of features, and they were developed obviously as standalone platforms, and they're standalone businesses that have developed those platforms. And so they've tried to, most of them have tried to be all things to all people, and they've created these integrations with each other, with their own interest in mind in making those things available to the other platforms. Any questions about those relationships so far? It is pretty straightforward, and I assume that most of you understand those relationships, but especially when we get into the Echo360 Canvas relationship, where Echo360 is embedded within the page, it appears that they're one when they're actually not. Questions, anyone? Okay, all right. Go ahead.
I'm sorry, Ed. I was wondering, so for Teams, if you do a Teams recording, you would just download that recording and then upload it to Echo360. Is that right?
That is the essence of what we're talking about today here. Yes.
And then with Echo360, if you just do it directly, it just automatically gets stored in there.
It will automatically, and we'll talk about the details of that. But yes, if you use Echo360, whether it's the universal capture or the classroom capture, it will automatically be published to your library and ultimately actually to a course section. And that actually brings up the best practice that I want to talk about pretty soon here, and that is using the Echo360 course sections that have been created for you automatically. And then also Zoom, you didn't mention Zoom, but Zoom actually will also, they allow a feature where the content will be automatically uploaded to your Echo360 library, and ultimately could be mapped to a course section as well. And so that was kind of a spoiler there, but we'll talk about more detail about that. But Teams is in essence, you download the video and you'll upload it to your Echo just as any other video. Does that answer your question?
Great, thanks so much. And I'm sorry if someone's already asked this, but do you have to register for an Echo360 account, or does everybody, all full-time staff or anyone with an EID get an Echo360 account?
Faculty and staff are automatically assigned an Echo360 account. And if you're new, it may take a little time for all of those. And you probably, if you're new, would have recognized that it takes a little time to get all of your systems together and you connected to all of the accounts that you have available to you here at CSU. But ultimately, yes, everybody, all faculty and staff have access to an account. Students will also have access to an account, a student level access.
Great, thank you.
No registration required. Okay. All right, let's see here. Course sections, bear with me just a second while I pull up. So, as I mentioned previously, it is recommended, it is my recommendation that whenever dealing with Echo360, it's best to go directly to echo360.org and log in that way in order to manipulate your content. This is basically, excuse me for a minute, this is basically the view that you'll get when you open up your account. We're not going to do an extensive tour, but I do want you to understand and adhere to this best practice. The best practice being using those course sections that have been assigned to you each term, and there's a reason why that is, and it'll save you a lot of work in the long run. So when you log in, generally, it may come up to the last menu option that you chose, but this is the library view, and this is a view of all of your recordings that you have uploaded or have been created in the system. The courses tab here is actually, they're basically folders that can contain shortcuts to those videos. And I recommend highly that you use these. These are actually assigned each semester based on your banner enrollment. You're assigned automatically these folders, and they should be created in Echo for you. And so if you have a specific course section you've been assigned, you will have a folder assigned to that. And I recommend any videos that you actually want to use for that course be shared and published through these individual videos. That won't take them out of the library. It doesn't make an additional copy, but it does give you a series of folders that allows you to manage just that specific course and the videos that you want in it. The reason this is important is for any given semester, if you use that course section, and we'll show you how you can actually share that to the LMS later, but if you use that course section specific, it will collect analytics, viewing analytics of the users who have watched videos through that particular course section. And that's important because you can use that to determine engagement. Why I recommend using each semester's course section as it's created is because as people do enroll in this course section, basically access the course, those analytics are created and those enrollment lists are created and attached to that specific course section. And so if you were to use this course section in the spring again, the problem with that would be that it would still contain all the analytics from the fall's enrollment, which is why ultimately you would want to use the spring course section and clone the fall course section into the spring in the Echo application. And this moves all of the videos forward, but strips out all of the analytics. Now that may have been confusing, and it may have been confusing because of the way I explained it. So I'm going to stop there and open it up for any confusion or questions about that. We'll be talking about it a little bit more and how you use these Echo course sections. Go ahead.
Yes, I have a question. So when we put a video in the course section, is it automatically, and we are linked to Canvas, does it automatically show to the students, or is there a way we can hide it until we edit it or we do something?
If you publish it, depending on how you publish it, really. If you upload it and you put it in the course section, you can actually go to the course section list, which would be something like this, and you can actually, oops, sorry about that.
Can you unpublish it?
You can actually delay its availability.
Okay, through this button here?
So by clicking on the video itself, you can make it unavailable, and you can edit other details about it, including its availability settings right here.
Okay.
Okay.
Otherwise, it's automatically available to the students.
Correct. Correct.
Okay. Thank you.
Other question?
Yeah, going back to what you said a moment ago about cloning within Echo360. I've been cloning my Canvas courses, and I always thought they carried over freshly. And I just this morning, when I was checking out my library, realized that I'm working off of some videos from 2015 or something like that. So obviously, cloning a Canvas page does not carry over the videos into a fresh course within Echo360's library. And secondly, real quick question, is there degradation of the video when it is cloned or not? Do you know?
No, not at all.
Okay.
Again, the way Echo manipulates these videos, we're not copying videos. We're not copying videos at all. They're new shortcuts to the same video with new metadata attached to it for the current course. I think that your situation as far as cloning, I think that's probably a very, very common misconception that that occurs when cloning. There is a difference between cloning in Canvas and cloning to Echo. So, so one of the things that we'll take a look at here, yeah, well, we'll take a look at how to link your Canvas course to your Echo course section to Canvas. We'll take a look at that in just a minute here. And when you do that, if you've cloned the course, as you said, and it's been linked to a previous semester, you can unlink it and link it to the new semester to get that fresh video. But first, you do have to clone it. Now, I'm not prepared to go into the cloning aspect today, but we can arrange some other time to maybe I can create an additional learning opportunity here if there's enough interest about looking into that, or I can direct you to some materials. I would say that Marianne Bauer has really done a fantastic job in creating a lot of our written training materials and videos, and the need is there because we're not 100% enthralled with all of the documentation that Echo360 provides. It can become overwhelming and confusing. And so we've got an in-house person who's really taken that by the reins and hopefully made things a little clearer. Okay, and so we're gonna visit in a little while. You know, we've taken a look at the library, which contains all of your videos. The courses, which basically are folders which can contain shortcuts to those same videos and attach individual analytics to them. And then we'll also look at this create menu here, and we're going to use this in several ways today. One of them would be to upload media. And another instance would be to actually create a Zoom meeting within that. What I'd like to do right now is jump over to Canvas real quick here, so we can talk about different ways that you might be integrating this content into Canvas. I am sticking pretty closely right now with using the Echo360 button that is enabled or can be enabled in Canvas, because that is a way that we can access Zoom meetings from within Echo or from within Canvas. And so if you have not done this before, the way you would get an Echo360 class list button would be to go into your course, go into settings, we'll go into apps, into the navigation pane. I'm sorry, I was in the right place in the first time. We go down and we find the Echo360 and we enable it. And you can move it, you know, throughout so it appears in different places in your navigation pane. And after you've done that, you select Save. Now, all that's really done is made a portal available in your Echo360 course. It actually hasn't linked any videos to this specific course. But what it's done is it's added this Echo360 link here. Now, what that is it's an embedded web page here that allows us to give you that same view that we were looking at over here, this class list view from within Canvas. And when people access the videos through this, it will collect the analytics that you can use later to determine engagement. So in this case, I would do, I think we'll do fall 2021. We'll select our course. I just made up this course for this particular instance. And then the section. Now, we still haven't linked it yet. We actually have to select link content. Once we've done that, we see this same page that we've seen directly in Echo360 is now embedded within Canvas. Now, the confusing thing for instructors can sometimes be that they can actually navigate away from this page within Canvas. As an instructor, you can. And so I want you to understand that this is really just a portal into Echo360. The other thing that I think has been really confusing for some folks is those who try to utilize the student view to confirm that what they're seeing here is what the students see. In the interaction between Canvas and Echo, the student view does not work accurately for this particular integration. And the reason being is that Echo actually requires authentication. And when we use the student view, it's not a real person, it's a virtual person essentially, and there's no way that it can authenticate. So if you've ever tried to enable these buttons in the LMS and tried to use student view, you've probably gotten an error, and that's because you can't. It can't authenticate you. It can't authenticate a virtual student. So, but what you can do is, this is my instructor view here, and you can rest assured that what you see here is what the students will see. Has anybody experienced that? Anybody chime in and let me know whether that's been confusing to them? No? Okay. Is everyone still out there?
Yep.
Okay. All right.
Yes,
It suddenly
there are
went
live people
deathly
here.
quiet, and I was wondering
Yes, we're here.
whether I was talking to myself or. Okay. Thank you.
See?
Yeah, we've been doing this for a whole year already.
All right, and my apologies, but I want to make sure everybody's on the same page. And honestly, the amount of content we really have to cover will go pretty quickly from here on out. That foundation work was a lot of this. So I will not go into any further ado, and we'll get into some of the others.
Yeah, trying to teach the black boxes has been horrible.
Oh, yeah.
So having us all turn our cameras on would make your life happier.
Well, every once in a while, I may just ping you just to make sure.
Ed, there is a question in the chat. I don't know if you need one of us to read it to you.
Okay. Yeah, if you wouldn't mind.
It says, I saw the quote link to classroom button earlier. Do we need to click that too for the classroom to capture to come to Echo360?
Okay, let me get back to that so that I can see. So we selected a term, fall 2021. Selected our course. Selected our section. No, what you need to do is link content only. Link to this section and link content. Okay. So in order for, excuse me for a minute, let me get a drink here. In order for this Zoom, Zoom videos from your Zoom cloud recordings, in order for them to be backed up into Echo360, the first thing that we have to do, or the first thing that you have to do, each instructor is going to have to do this, is they're going to sign in. It doesn't matter whether you're in the library or any one of these menus, but you're going to go up here to your account settings. You're going to select account settings, and you're going to see a Zoom settings menu option over here on the left. Oh, and by the way, I included these instructions are in essence in the PowerPoint, and I did include that in the chat. You can have access to that PowerPoint later. So if you forget these steps, just viewing those should be able to remind you. So we go to the account settings, we go to the Zoom settings, and what we need to do is we need to toggle this on. And what this is going to do is basically allow Echo to access your Zoom, or Zoom to access Echo, and import any future videos that you record to the cloud will automatically be brought into your Echo360 library. Okay, so they're really, and be aware this is not retroactive. So if you have a bunch of recordings that you've already made, you will not be able to utilize this method to bring those in. You'll use the standard upload videos. You'll need to download them from the cloud and upload them manually. Okay. So there are two options in ways that you can integrate Zoom with Echo. The first one, in no particular order, other than this is what we're talking about first, you can, if you have created recurring Zoom meetings in Zoom, those recurring Zoom meetings can be mapped directly to your course section. Remember, we talked about utilizing those course sections, which can then be linked to Canvas in that class list that I showed you. This is not retroactive, but what you need to understand about this is it really just makes Echo360 a backup at that point. It just takes that Echo360, it takes that Zoom meeting after it's processed in Zoom, and then we'll upload it to Echo and can be mapped. It will not only go into your library, but directly to the course section that you decide to map it to. Okay, and we were just looking at that page, and so we'll bring you back to that. So in that same Zoom setting option, when we toggled it on, you've noticed that it brought in all of my recurring meetings here. And you know, if it doesn't do it right away, once you've enabled this toggle, you can reload, and it is pretty quick in bringing up this list. Once you've done that, you can decide to have them routed directly to your library only. My recommendation again is, if you're using this for a particular course section, we want to find that course section and have those videos go all the way through and be published. Okay. Does that make sense for everybody so far? And does everybody understand what that accomplishes? Okay, I'll assume that's a yes. Yeah, go ahead.
What were those options other than the like under this menu, the arrows? What are the options there?
Oh, if you can't read that, it's really either library or any of the courses that you're an instructor in. So they're really just course section options.
That's your sections basically.
Yeah, yeah, those are your Echo360 course sections. So
Okay.
it just publishes those recordings directly there.
Okay.
Make sense?
Thank you.
Okay, and again, remember this is after the fact, so it is not going to be an interactive type of thing. It really is just sending the recordings over to Echo. And one of the reasons that is because so currently the way we've been operating under sort of an emergency situation here at CSU, Zoom recordings are allowed to be recorded to the cloud and stored there. Best practices, I'm asking you to get those recordings out of there and back them up into Echo360. The reason that is that that storage is not free. We pay for that, and ultimately that privilege is going to go away. I don't know when, but I think ultimately we cannot continue that paying for that storage. Storage in Echo360, however, is free, and we only get charged by streaming that content. So if you just want a backup of all of your meetings and store them in Echo360, there's no harm, no foul for CSU because we don't get charged for it. Okay. So once we've enabled this toggle button, and whether or not we've chosen to publish our backup recordings to a course section, there's a second option for integration for Echo360, and that is the ability to create ad hoc Zoom meetings from within the Echo interface. And that can be hosted and attended from within the Echo360 course section. Recordings will automatically be mapped, so you wouldn't even have to map anything at this point. And we'll use the Create menu in your Echo360 to do that. So we'll go back again to Echo360 here, and we'll go to a particular course. So where this matters is that you want to get into a specific course first. Pick a course, any course. And we'll do this one again. And if you look at this Create menu here, you see the option of creating a Zoom meeting from within this course section. So we'll label it, give it some kind of a description, and we'll submit that. And at this point, you could go directly in and join as a host to the meeting itself. Now, before I do that, what I'd like to point out here, can you see this in the background? I know that it's grayed out here a little bit, but you'll see that it's already entered this new class section. If you were to click on this info button, this is also viewable by the student when you create this meeting, and this would be on the fly pretty much during your class. This is the way your students would actually access the Zoom meeting. They would click on this info button and it would enter them into the Zoom meeting as a Zoom participant. Does that make sense to everyone?
Ed, this is Barry. So I'm curious so you have to have a Zoom license assigned to you, assigned to your Hollow State email address in order to do that, right? Okay, so the way we do things in the School of Ed, where they're all sort of managed under a sub account, that wouldn't work, right?
Ed, I think you're muted.
Yeah, somehow you're gone.
We lost your video.
Okay,
And
there we go.
okay.
Yeah, my apologies. When I opened up the Zoom took over my mic. So you said a sub account with the School of Education. Are you still, is it still registered as an @colostate.edu email?
Yes.
Okay, under individual name, right?
No, it's we created these sort of we created emails, college state emails that were like class 1, class 2, class 3, class 25, that sort of thing. This might be a question you and I just need to meet about later.
It may in fact be that way. I will show you guys one thing before we get too far down that road. And when you look at the Zoom settings here, there is an alternate Zoom email. And so you may be able to utilize that alternate Zoom email and add the address there.
Cool.
Okay.
Thanks.
I would
Okay.
investigate that. I haven't played with it, so I can't say for sure.
Okay.
Okay. So back to where we were in the courses. So creating a Zoom meeting within the course section will actually allow the student to access it, you know, using that same class list from within Canvas. They can access the Zoom meeting from within here. And once processed and recorded, it will show up as a recording here later on.
So I'm planning on trying to do something like this for an online class. So I would essentially just set up, let's say there's a weekly Zoom time. So ahead of time, here in Echo, I could actually create all those meetings. And then if I have my Echo enabled in Canvas, the student should actually see the link to each meeting for each time that I actually want to meet with them, and they should be able to just go to that list and click on the day that the meeting's happening. And away we go, right? The day and time.
So that's an interesting thought. Let me see if I can do that. I want to see if I can create meetings in advance is something that I'm not sure of. I didn't consider that, but it looks like we can.
Yeah, because if we can do that, then I can just, when I open the course, I would just have the times all scheduled for them, and it would be very clear when we would have our weekly person-to-person discussions.
Correct. Is that a shifting time for you?
I have to figure out what times that'll actually be, but it would be nice to be able to just set them up, you know.
Understood.
Before we start, right?
Yeah. So in both of these cases, in either this case or the other case where we're just backing videos up to our course section here, what you need to realize is that if you don't have any other content already in that course section, you're not going to see anything until the content is created. So in this case, if I hadn't had these recordings in here as an example, you really wouldn't have seen anything until this particular meeting was created. Did I lose your audio yet? Did anybody? Can you still hear me?
We can hear you.
You're still
Okay.
there.
So what I did was I joined the Zoom meeting using that link. And I am speaking in Zoom right now just to do a quick recording, just to demonstrate that I'm teaching in Zoom right now. I may not have my video on, but I am using the audio. Then I would stop the recording. I don't know whether we'll have time to explore this, but recordings will not upload the recording in Zoom. Your recordings will not upload until you end the meeting.
This is Mary Ann. I'm not sure, but we might have lost Ed, but he'll be back. Probably going into Zoom replaced this meeting. So that happens.
So he's having an out-of-body experience in the internet somewhere.
Yeah, something like that.
Will he know he left this meeting, Marianne?
Yes, he will. He'll be back.
Mary Ann, do you happen to have a recording, or did you record your Everything 360 yesterday?
Yes.
Okay,
I was
great.
going to edit it slightly, just take out the beginning and the end a little bit, and then I emailed to see where I should put it. So I think it'll end up in Bridge.
Okay, because I wasn't able to attend, so I'd love to see it.
Yes, and I will put a copy of my 2 sessions plus Ed's session on our website.
Okay.
I am back from the dead. Is everyone still here?
So what did you do
were
to come
worried.
back?
So what happened for me was I was trying to run 2 applications at the same time, trying to, and I tested this before and this didn't happen, but you know, that's the way things go with technology. I was trying to run a Zoom meeting recording while I was presenting to you via Teams. And those applications were fighting with each other, and they finally just said, enough, I'm done with you. So I had to go back and rejoin our meeting. So what I was hoping to demonstrate to you is to show you that recording will ultimately show up in our Zoom class there. As you can see, I just refreshed a page. I made a short Zoom recording, and it automatically, once I ended the meeting, it automatically uploaded to my course section in Echo, which we would be viewing ultimately through Canvas. If we refresh the page here, we should see it. There it is. So this is the recording that I just made. Okay, and as I said, the PowerPoint is available in the chat window. I know that we're running tight on time. I'm certainly willing to stay beyond this. I don't know what the rules are about you folks' ability to stay beyond our designated meeting time. But since I had a few technical snafus, we kind of got a little bit behind here. The final thing is discussing the upload of media. I assume that most, if not all of you have done this, and we don't need to spend time doing this. If I am wrong, please correct me, anyone.
I'm not sure what you're talking about.
I've not done this. So you're talking about old Zoom recordings that we exist somewhere else that we want to bring into Echo.
They could be, yeah, absolutely. So they could be old Zoom recordings. They could be your Teams recordings. If you have recorded to Teams, which then show up in your Streams course or Streams cloud storage, you would have to download those recordings onto your local machine and then upload them into Echo, into the specific course section, using the upload process for any third-party media, really. So I'll be happy.
You can upload any MP4, for example?
Yeah,
okay,
yeah, absolutely. So essentially, let's not do it from there. Remember, we should always do it from within the course. If I wanted to upload any kind of media, it could be so if we go to desktop here, let's go to my sure. And if I had a video, let's do this video. I just chose a video, put it. Now, doing it from within the context of this course section, it will put it to this course section. If you did it without are outside of the course section and we're just in the libraries, in the library tab of your Echo360, it would only publish it to your library, and then you would have to share it. And I will tell you, using it directly within the context of the course will save you a huge amount of time and aggravation, especially if you have multiple videos that you need to publish. The reason that is that it's about an 18-step process to share a video from your library to a specific course section. I had a faculty member reach out to me just the other day and didn't realize that they could map these meetings directly to a course section. They have 244 individual videos now that they've got to share manually with 18 steps per. So using the upload media within the context of your specific course section will save you a huge amount of work.
And when you do it in the course section, it automatically goes to the library, and that's where it's stored. Just
Absolutely.
linked. Okay,
Absolutely.
thank you.
Anytime you upload media, it will always be in your library, but within the context of this, it will also be published within the course section that you want it to. Okay. So hit me with some more questions. I know that we kind of got a little bit off the path. I didn't.
Can you cover uploading meetings? I don't know where it records from.
Oh, okay. So like if you were to do a Teams meeting?
Correct.
So let me bring this over here. Essentially, when you record a Teams meeting, and I think this one's already being recording, yes. Once you stop the recording and end the meeting, it is uploaded to Streams. I can't demonstrate to you right now because we're already in Teams. But basically what happens is it puts a link to that recording into the chat. And what you can do then, if you want to, I think it also sends it to your email as well. But what you can do is you can click on that link and it takes you to Streams, which is a website, a Microsoft website that stores your videos. And you can, let me see. And basically it takes you directly to that video, and in the upper left corner there's a menu. There are some menu options in the upper left hand corner. You can obviously play the video, but you can also download that video. At that point you would download the video and then use the process that we just talked about here with the upload. So in Teams, you'll record your meeting. You'll access the meeting or the recording link. You'll download that recording and then upload it via the process that we just talked about here. Does that make sense?
Yes, thank you.
Yeah, it's pretty simple, especially if you've already got this process down of uploading things.
Yes, and then Marianne earlier said that if you do that with either a Teams or a Zoom, that then within Echo you can process it to create the text transcripts and possibly closed caption. Is that correct?
Yeah, any video that you upload can actually it can take the audio and have it processed so that it gives you it can give you the transcript.
Gotcha, because I have some disabled students who are going to want that even for my previous lectures, so that's good. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Now the transcript, the free automatic transcription service is not 100%. And so if it is truly a demonstrated need for a disabled student, that may not suffice because the transcription is not fully approved, and maybe Marianne can chime in on any details she might know about that.
Yes, if you have a student with a confirmed disability, they've contacted the disabilities office and they have their paperwork through, then you'll want to contact TILT, and TILT is the organization that will go ahead and send the video and audio out to 3Play Media to have it professionally transcribed. It's quite expensive, so it's only done for students with disabilities. But
Right.
yes, you'll definitely want to have that done.
Yeah, I understand that if it's that specific disability, that service exists, but this is just as a convenience to those others who are perhaps not completely at that level, but would still benefit from having it. So that's what I'm.
Yeah, it's a fantastic feature because you can the students can go back and use that as a search tool. You know, they can actually do a keyword search for the lecture to find specific keywords. So it's a huge benefit to have that enabled.
Excellent, thank you.
Okay. So we're a couple minutes after. I'm.
Can I chime in on that same topic?
Sure. Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah.
So Stream does transcribe, and when you transfer the video over to Echo360, does it move the transcription with it, or does it put a new
does
transcription?
not. It does not. It treats it as it's sort of a dumb video. In essence, it has no ability to pull that kind of information over, and so basically it creates its own transcription using the Amazon service.
Right, thank you.
That's free. So I didn't want to cut anybody off here. It's 2:03. I'm certainly willing to stay on and answer additional questions, but I do want to thank you for your attention and your patience with some of my technical issues here. You can see on there, on the last page there, we have resources, a number of ways to get a hold of us for specific things. The email there will actually is the way we prefer you to contact us. When Marianne and I first worked for CSU Online, we gave out personal emails, and it was really hard to track. This will now track through our help desk system. So this will create a help desk, and it'll actually get you a response faster because it's sent to both of us, and we tag team on those and pick things up really quickly. So I see a couple hands. I see lots of hands. Let's start with.
So I had a question about cloning the videos from one section to another, like a past section into my current section. I kind of missed that if you covered.
Okay, so yeah, so always dangerous to mention a feature that you're not prepared to teach on.
Okay.
Simply because, as you can see, we ran out of time just for the content that we had to deal with. I'd welcome you to contact me through the Echo360 help, and we can get you that information. Echo360 does have their help page.
Okay.
It's this one here, and again, I will reiterate that Marianne and I are in agreement that there are instructions on there that are not entirely clear, and so we'll also be, if you want to generate a ticket and just say, hey, look, I have questions about this, we'll be happy to address that individually. Okay.
All
also,
right,
if you go to the help website, under the announcements, there is a link to combining course sections, and I believe that will take you to a page that has the PDF, or take you to the PDF that was created for Colorado State users.
For cloning?
For cloning, yes.
Oh, great. Fantastic. Awesome. Thanks. What else do we have? Who's PD?
I have a question. Is it possible, so I'll be in person, virus permitting, so I'm hoping to do classroom capture, but then I would also like to be able to upload my own videos. Is it possible to order them?
Absolutely, yeah. Yeah. So, yeah, when you, I don't know whether I can show you real quick here. It's actually within here. I think we can. There is a there is a reorder option.
Okay, well, just knowing it's there, I can probably find
There is a reorder option for
and
sure.
Second question, and this might actually be more of a question for the Canvas people, is I actually have editing software that allows me to embed quizzes. Is that something that's compatible with the Echo360? Because I know when I've tried to, so I can upload those to YouTube. I tried to upload some with bookmarks to YouTube, and that didn't, or no, to YouTube, I wasn't able to do it. That's what it was. At another school I teach at, I was able to upload the quiz-enabled videos.
I'm going to venture a guess and say no, Marianne. You can probably confirm that that is not a capability that Echo has to use third-party interactive quizzes and those kinds of things.
Right. It seems like it should be stored on the interactive quiz cloud and delivered through a link, but you can put a link in Canvas to that. I don't know that you can bring that into Echo and that it would do it. What is the software, the name of the software?
It's Camtasia. So
okay.
Yeah.
With the other school I teach at, they actually do have, I guess it's a subscription to their server for storage, and so that's what I used before. But I don't think CSU has that.
I think
So,
you're
yeah.
right. Yeah.
Yeah, this is a perfect instance of what I was saying at the beginning, where all of these different platforms have created their own features and benefits, and they provide some interactivity with each other, but their interest is their platform, and so there are just technical difficulties with making those things come across. So, but yeah, everybody's got, and Echo, for instance, has some interactive stuff that that we don't have available at CSU, but they try to approach that same kind of thing.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
This is Patty Davies.
Patty.
And I'm in the School of Health and Human Sciences.
Yeah.
And my question has to do with the use of Zoom versus Teams. We have been told and encouraged to highly use Teams, and saying that being told that that was what CSU wanted us to use. And I am just curious if maybe that's not the CSU stance, and what you guys know about that.
So that is the CSU stance, that Teams is the supported method for delivering those kinds of things. With that said, they want you to be able to teach effectively. CSU wants you to be able to teach effectively. And if Zoom works better for you, I think that is ultimately what they want to encourage is what works best for you.
Okay, thanks, because it just seems like there's more integration with Echo with Zoom. I didn't realize you could set up those meetings within the Echo portal within Canvas. So, that just seems like a real advantage. So thank you for that information.
It is. And again, I know that there was some question about Echo integration with Teams. I was surprised not too very long ago to find out that integration basically was treating Teams like an LMS and basically allowing you to access Echo360 through Teams and not the other way around. And so it is one of the reasons that I backed off of really even mentioning an integration between Teams other than the ability to upload the videos that you make in Teams, is because that integration is really not necessarily usable in the context of us using an LMS that we have established here, which is Canvas.
Okay, thank you so much.
Yeah. We have, who is that? Liz, did you still have a question, or is your hand just stuck?
Sorry, I forgot to take it down.
Okay, all right. So it looks like we only have a few folks left. I really appreciate your time and patience, and I hope I've been able to clear up and not muddy up the waters on this subject, I certainly welcome you guys, all of you and any of you, to contact with additional questions. Again, the PDF, it's not a PDF of the PowerPoint, is in the chat for you to access and download if you want. It's not extensive information, but it might remind you of some of the steps that we went through to get where we went today. All right.
Thank you
you,
very
Ed.
much. Yeah, thanks. This was really useful. And
Great.
Combined with what Marianne did earlier, this was really awesome. Thank you.
Great.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And I'll be in touch after the first couple weeks of the semester to set up a meeting for you.
Sounds
We're going to
great.
probably be redoing the way we're set up, so I'll need your help with that. This is
Okay.
Barry, by the way.
Oh, okay. I was like,
Sorry.
I hear a voice, but you
And-
saw my confused look.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, Barry. Thanks.
I had a call that kept me from joining the meeting until about a quarter after the hour. So I can find everything in the chat. And will it be on the Bridge site too, or no?
To be honest, I've never posted videos in Bridge, and I did email Deb Colbert to find out what the next step was and where we wanted to put these videos, but we'll definitely put a copy on our website, on our help website.
Oh, okay, great. I'll look for it there. Thank you.
Mhm.
Yep. All right. Well, thank you all again, and I hope you enjoy the rest of your day. Unless there's
Great.
no.
Thanks again.
All right. Bye all. Thank you, Marianne.
You're welcome. Bye.